Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. Today is the fourth day of the experiment. Let me address the usual three questions in one sentence. I'm feeling pretty good today, and that mainly is because three new things have popped up in the last 24 to 36 hours, and I want to spend some time today to chat about them. So, in very brief, the three things I want to discuss is one, I changed my sleeping cycle, and I think this is for good. Two, I tried breathwork and it's really a lot more than what I expected, and I want to share a little bit my experience just for my first try. And three, I did the 36-hour fast, and also this has not really been what I expected, and I again want to share some experiences here. I know it is difficult and maybe even a bit foolish to try to draw conclusions after 2.5 days, but the 1.5 hours of sleeping have not really been working for me at all, and I never really managed to get into a deep sleep phase. And because of this, I decided to change my sleeping schedule, and I really think that this is for the good. So what you can see now is basically a timeline here. It starts in the morning when I get up, and it ends with the last sleeping cycle of the night. Get up time around 8 in the morning. Then there is nap time at noon, around 1 p.m. This is pretty much the same as it was before. Now it says 60 to 90 minutes because so far I never really managed to sleep in 90 minutes. And then the first big change is this part here. It used to be before it used to be at 5 p.m. Now I pushed it back to 6:30 p.m. and instead of sleeping, it is breath work. And it's at 90 minutes, it is 60 minutes. So breath work, I will talk more about it in a second, but it's replacing basically one of the sleeping cycles. And then the other change is that before here I had three different cycles of each 1.5 hours. So the first one starting at 10 p.m. Now what I did is I pushed them back and I made 2 out of 3 sleeping cycles, but I prolonged each of them so that actually in total, before it was 4.5 hours, 3 times 1.5 hours, and now we actually have approximately 5 hours in total. The first time, 3 hours, which would be 2 times 1.5 hour sleeping cycle, starts at just past midnight and then goes accordingly until 3:30 in the morning. Um, and this, so I've actually been told this before, and I ignored it, which may not have been the best decision. Is that apparently our body is most accustomed to sleeping at midnight to 3 in the morning. So this is probably some time that I should really try to be asleep. And then there are 2.5 hours of awake time in between. And then there's another sleep cycle from 6 a.m. forwards for another 2 hours. So looking at this entire schedule, I think the part here on the top, this I can already say is really sort of sustainable. And actually, it's not really too different to what we normally do, I think, throughout the average day. The only thing that I'm also not really sure about yet is this time, the nap time. So far, I didn't really get too much energy out of it, but I don't want to be conclusive on this yet. So I will leave it in the experiment for now, and I try to build a better opinion on whether this really helps having the nap time or whether it's kind of a waste of time throughout the day. And then the other thing that people may not have in their normal routine is this breath work, but it has just really been energizing to me, as I did yesterday. And I think this can or should really be part of a sustainable routine. And then there's a part here on the bottom, and this is the part for me to experiment. Um, I probably need to read into this a little bit as well, whether it is in any kind of way healthy to have an awake phase between two sleeping phases. I really like it in a way because this awake phase here, having 2.5 hours, you can really dedicate it to one task and get something done at night. You don't have to worry about during the day. So if it is healthy in a way, and if I don't suffer too much or at all out of it. I think this could be a great addition to my normal sleeping cycle, but I'm far yet from building a definite opinion on this. On breathwork, I want to keep it as short as I can because I'm probably the biggest novice you can be in the field, but I still want to cover it because it has been a really, really great experience to me. So, what is breathwork? I think it's a form of meditation. In cycles, you breathe very extensively, and afterwards, you hold your breath. And you can do this for different periods of time. I yesterday did it for approximately 60 minutes. And within these 60 minutes and afterwards, there were 5 things that were pretty much standing out for me. One, I had super intense sensation feelings in my body, which I think came from the oxygen that was just pushed through my entire body. For example, I felt like my hands and my feet were just shackled to the ground. It is very, very difficult to put this into words, but it was a very, very unique feeling, which I didn't really get anywhere else before. Two, you lose the feeling for time. And it's easy to say that, but I thought I did not spend more than 20 minutes in that, and it was 60 minutes. And I just don't know how that much time passed, but I just couldn't feel it at all. Three, your body can do crazy things in that state, especially related to holding breath. So I wouldn't say I'm good in holding breath. I don't think I can really do more than a minute and a bit underwater. And during this breathing exercise, without a problem, I nearly did 4 minutes a couple of times. Like 4 minutes holding my breath is something I did not think was possible for me. And there it was easy, pretty much. Point four, I'm not big on meditation, but I think for me, this was the perfect form of meditation because my mind was just able to drift wherever it wanted, and I had this feeling of completely freedom in my head, which was just very, very nice. And as a fifth and last point, and probably most importantly, afterwards, I felt both super relaxed, but still very, very energetic. And this together just made me feel really, really great. If you want to know more about breathwork, I can maybe connect you to a good friend of mine. For me, it was such a good experience that it will definitely be part of my routine going forward. And three, I did do the 36-hour fast. And the one thing that stood out to me the most, and I didn't expect this, is that I did not really feel hungry at any point throughout the past 36 hours. And I'm now in hour 37, and I will eat in a bit, even though I still don't feel the need to eat. And this is something I didn't really expect because I'm just used to eating a lot and to eat basically throughout the day. Now I restricted it completely to drinking water throughout the day, and I'm feeling fine. And it just shows how much you can do. So yes, I'm happy I could share these 3 things with you, and I will see you back in my vlog tomorrow.